Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. So look, right now we are seeing a total explosion of AI GitHub repositories. I mean, everyone and their cousin is launching a new tool, a new agent framework, or some massive prompt library that promises to just completely revolutionize the way you code and work. But here's the reality check, and we really need to be honest about this. A lot of it is just noise, just pure hype. Today, we're going to cut through all of that. We're going to separate the truly game-changing, highly efficient architectural layers from the bloated, overhyped tools that literally just slow you down. We're putting these repos under the microscope to see what actually works in a real production environment.
Right out of the gate, I want you to ask yourself a serious question. Are your AI agents just burning through money and memory? Because honestly, it happens so much faster than you think. You set up a quick agent, you hand it a few tasks, and suddenly, boom, you're getting hit with massive API bills. Why? Because of messy PDF parsing, bloated log files, and these amnesiac agents that force you to basically re-explain the entire context on every single prompt. It wastes your time, and it wastes incredibly expensive tokens. We absolutely have to fix that. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our masterclass agenda for optimizing your workflows today. Number 1, architecture and token efficiency. Number 2, integrating markdown conversion workflows. 3, AI agent memory management. 4, pitfalls of automated skills. And wrapping up with number 5, the verdict on AI repos.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, architecture and token efficiency. You know, there is this incredibly stark contrast right now between marketing hype and actual engineering reality. Take a look at the Headroom repository. It's essentially this proxy layer designed to sit right between your agent and the LLM. And the headline claim is huge. They say it'll shrink massive log files and junk data, cutting your token bill by anywhere from 60 to 95%. Sounds amazing, right? A real game changer. But if you actually dig into their own benchmark page, pulling data from 50,000 real-world sessions, the actual median savings is just 4.8%. It's a massive reality check. As developers, we literally cannot just blindly trust the headline. You have to interrogate the architecture. For most day-to-day use cases, squeezing out a tiny 5% savings probably doesn't justify jamming an unvetted proxy layer into your tech stack. Now, compare that to what Microsoft just dropped with WebWright. It builds heavily on their trusted Playwright library. And this right here, this represents what genuine architectural efficiency actually looks like. Right now, a ton of standard AI computer use agents rely on looking at raw screen pixels to figure out how to navigate web browsers. That approach is so token-heavy and it's incredibly slow. WebWright totally flips the script. Instead of relying on screenshots, it gives the agent a much lower-level view, letting it analyze the code's DOM tree elements directly. This is a huge leap in efficiency because the agent is actually reading the structural code to get around rather than just guessing based on some bloated visual image. And hey, speaking of middle layers, we really have to talk about Zapier's evolving role in all this. Developers are constantly bouncing between Claude, Codex, and whatever the hot new model of the week is, right? And you want to bring your tools with you, your calendar, your docs, your emails. Well, Zapier is stepping up as that trusted architectural layer. It solves a massive security headache. It lets you give these agents the power they need while setting incredibly strict boundaries. You can confidently spin up an agent knowing that the middle layer is going to physically prevent it from, going rogue and sending weird emails to your boss or accidentally deleting your entire company database.
Moving right along to section 2, integrating markdown conversion workflows.
So large language models thrive on clean text, but let's be real, the business world runs on incredibly messy files. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how simple it makes building a perfect data pipeline using a fantastic tool from Microsoft called MarkItDown. The beauty here is completely in its simplicity. Step 1, you just spin up your virtual environment. Step 2, you run one super simple terminal command, markitdown, doc.pdf, output.md. And step 3, you're instantly feeding perfectly clean headings, properly formatted tables, and even descriptions of images straight into your LLM. It saves you from paying those ridiculous token costs just to have your agents struggle to read a raw PowerPoint or an Excel file. Now, out of the box, MarkItDown does rely on Azure AIs for processing complex stuff like scanned PDFs, but it's built entirely as a framework, so you can easily write custom plugins to extend it however your specific architecture demands.
But wait, what if you're dealing with really sensitive stuff, like medical data or highly proprietary company financials? You can't just be blasting those API calls out to Azure or OpenAI. That is exactly where LightParse comes in. LightParse handles those incredibly weird PDF column layouts and does optical character recognition entirely locally right on your desktop. It gives you the clean markdown your agent needs, but with absolute airtight privacy. No outside connection required whatsoever.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, AI Agent Memory Management.
If you want your AI agent to act like a true, capable assistant, you have to nail down the brain aspect. You have to figure out how to structure its memory, technically. Take a look at the GBrain repository. This was originally built by Y Combinator president Gary Tan. He's interacting with hundreds of founders, meaning he has massively disparate chunks of knowledge that desperately need organizing. GBrain handles this by giving the AI permanent memory, backed by a really rock-solid tech stack. It uses a Postgres database, leans on BM25 ranking for ultra-fast accurate search, and processes all that context using embeddings. If you're building an agent that needs to meticulously track client timelines and complex project histories, this is exactly the kind of robust architectural foundation you want to be studying. But here's a thought. Infinite memory isn't always the goal. Sure, there's a commercial open source service called Supermemory that tracks literally everything across all your tools long-term, but honestly, in a lot of really complex coding environments, you might actually want what I like to call intentional amnesia. Think about it. If you ask an LLM a super specific question about a brand new Python script, the last thing you want is for it to bring in a bunch of false assumptions just because you were debugging some completely unrelated Ruby project with it 3 days ago. Sometimes, starting with a completely clean, blank slate context window is vastly superior to working with a polluted, overly assumptive memory. And that actually brings us to an incredibly opinionated repository called Odicius, built by none other than the massive YouTube creator PewDiePie. It's basically a local ChatGPT alternative that integrates webhooks and gives you total privacy control. But the absolute killer feature here for memory management? It lets you directly edit the AI's response right there in the chat. Remember, everything in a chat history becomes context for the next prompt. So if the AI spits out some buggy code or a total hallucination and you just leave it sitting there, the AI is going to use that bad data to inform its next answer. By letting you seamlessly jump in and edit the output, Odicius lets you keep your context window perfectly pure. Let's pivot a bit to Section 4, Pitfalls of Automated Skills. When we're talking about deploying agentic workflows, we have to talk about the real dangers of putting things on autopilot. 249. That is the number of skills currently crammed into this massive, highly starred repository called ECC. One developer literally spent 10 months building this all-in-one AI coding assistant, packaging 63 specialized agents and 249 skills into a single massive install. To quote someone from the community, it's like wheeling in a Boeing 747 just to cross the street. It is the definition of extreme bloat. Are you really going to blindly trust an enormous repository to review your secure Go, Java, or Python code without manually auditing what those 249 hidden rules are actually telling your agent to do? And if you want hard proof of why blindly downloading skills is such a bad idea, just look at the popular Stop Slop repository. The idea is to remove AI tells from writing. Sounds good, right? But if you actually open up the markdown files dictating its skills, the rules are shockingly aggressive. It instructs the agent to just indiscriminately kill all adverbs. It forcibly deletes any sentence starting with a WH question, so you literally can't even ask what or where. It just blindly strips out starting phrases. Actually, if you deploy this into your agent, it will completely neuter your writing voice. You absolutely must manually review skill files before you use them. So what's the actual right way to handle these tools? Enter compound engineering. Look at the compound engineering plugin from a company called Every. They built these incredible skill files covering everything from setting up proper Git commit structures to coding in Ruby on Rails. But here's the gold standard approach. You don't just click install and let their opinions run your agent. Instead, you read their repository. You study their skill files to learn exactly how their senior engineers think about problem solving. And then you take those insights and adapt them to engineer your own custom architecture. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5. The verdict on AI repos. So out of all the noise, what actually deserves a spot in your tech stack? Highly intentional, specialized tools. A perfect example of a specialized tool solving a very real problem is the taste repository. Think about it. Right now, almost every UI generated by an LLM looks exactly the same. It all has that super generic Anthropic or OpenAI aesthetic. Well, the taste repository fixes this by acting as a stylistic override. Instead of generic slop, you can inject typography and color inspiration from specific high-end companies like Intercom directly into your agent's context window. It literally forces the AI to output beautiful, highly opinionated design right out of the gate. Then there's the Understand Anything repo.
This one is fascinating because it focuses on using LLMs to read massive code bases, not write them. It visually maps out hundreds of thousands of lines of tangled legacy code so you can actually figure out what the heck is going on. And the truth is, right now, large language models are significantly better at reading, extracting insights, and mapping complex relationships than they are at trying to write massive enterprise applications completely from scratch. Now, there was some recent drama on Hacker News over whether this specific project bought its GitHub stars, which sadly is a real problem in the ecosystem, but the underlying architectural principle here, using AI for deep analysis rather than deep generation, that is incredibly sound. Switching gears to audio for a second, we're seeing a massive shift here too. Look at Vox CPM. It is an open-source text-to-speech model that runs entirely locally on your Mac, for free. You can tell it to clone a raspy old man's voice, and it just generates it instantly. The open-source community is absolutely nipping at the heels of commercial quality, hitting like 95% parity. So where does that leave a commercial giant like ElevenLabs? Well, ElevenLabs wins entirely on the professional tier. Legal licensing from real human voice actors, commercial compliance, and generating an ironclad paper trail for enterprise companies who just cannot afford the legal nightmare of an open-source model secretly training on a politician's voice. Look, the tools we've looked at today really prove one thing. The future belongs to developers who are incredibly intentional about their architecture. Stop blindly trusting mega repos with hundreds of hidden skills, manually review your markdown pipelines, and take strict control of your agent's memory. Build your stack deliberately to unlock the true efficiency of these models. So I'll leave you with this. Are you meticulously engineering a custom AI stack, or are you just collecting bloated slop?